All right, we're back with another SOG. As I told you, I have about 8 SOG knives in right now from my friend John. These are all brand new. These are their, I don't know. These are all made, I believe they're all made. Well, I won't even say that. This one is made in China. Last one I did was made in China. I think they're all their China versions here. At Blade Show West, I did run into the SOG booth or table, and they were begging everybody to take patches. So John will get some patches when these knives come back to him. This is just a little guy, and it's not super comfortable to flip, and it's not, I don't know, it's interesting. This is the Stout FLK Cleaver version. As you can tell by the kind of cleaver-shaped blade. They do make this in a clip point. They make it in different colors. I think there's a black and an OD, this is the OD green. There's a black G10. There is a black stonewashed blade version also. And they make this in a slip joint variation as well, which I thought was interesting. Yeah, that's kind of cool, I guess, to offer it in different configurations like that. Yeah, the flipper tab is kind of uncomfortable. It's a little pointy here, but it does work. Give it a little oomph and off you go. With this big finger choil, it will fit my hands. It is a full hand knife, but again, it is still small. Overall length is just a hair over 6 inches. Closed is 3 3/4. What that gives you is 2.3 inch blade with a 2.1 inch cutting edge. Now behind the edge is a little crazy. It's way thick up here at the tip at 0.039. And it kind of bevels down to 0.021 at the end. It is Cryo D2, so it is their D2 that is cryogenically treated. So they freeze it to minus whatever, which aligns the molecules and makes it harder. Steel lock bar side, steel deep carry pocket clip. This would be a good kind of 5th pocket knife if you're into that sort of thing. This is also designed by Mikkel Willemsen, who does a lot of designs for SOG and other companies. Gives you a little lanyard hole. It's a little uncomfortable to unlock as well. A little bit of an interesting lock shape. The detemp ball is right up here at this tip because it was a little gritty for me. So I did put a drop of lube on the ball. And kind of had to stick it all the way up in there to get to it because it's right up here at this edge. Does give you a nail nick looking thing on both sides, which to me is a little odd. Like it just visually it's odd because normally you see it kind of in the middle of the blade, but it is all the way out at the tip, which is just a little awkward to me. But it does give you the ability if you want to open it this way, or you can get your finger down in here for you reverse flicking guys. Let me zoom out. And it does work. But for me, it's not intuitive to just pick it up and flip it. I got to really kind of position my finger and think about it. And no, I did not I did not purposely miss those few times. It's just not the perfect location for that. Plus this lock bar is pretty freaking heavy. Like the detent is not a finger breaker, but it is pretty good. And even though it is on bearings, that pivot is pretty tight. I'm hoping for John's sake that it's going to loosen up over time. Weighs in at just 4 ounces. This particular version comes in at $60 on the retail side. Amazon, you can get it a little, like about the same. It's really, really sharp. Like, wow. I had not cut anything until right now. And yeah, that's really sharp. Even with it being a little bit thicker behind the edge, that is crazy sharp. Wow. Okay, it's not Rockstead fixed blade like I did some cutting with that before, but it is really sharp. Let me see. I got a cardboard box top here. Let me see what it does here. This may be a little bit different story. We'll do this side where there's no tape. No, this could be a really good like box cutter utility type knife. That's where I think this would shine. I don't know that anybody's going to be daily carrying this one. I mean, you might. Okay, sure. Let me just push this out of the way. Give you a couple size comparisons here. With a Sharpie, you're just a little bigger than a Sharpie. Spyderco Delica. The Kubi KB237. Again, similar pricing here between the Kubi and the SOG. The Kubi's about $40, $45 in this configuration. We're at like $60. I'm not saying that one is better than the other. I'm just giving an example here of your affordable budget style type knives. This is kind of my go-to for that genre, that budget affordable thing. While this is small, it could just be the right thing for you to use as like a utility type knife, right? If you're not really carrying a knife all the time, or this would be a good one to just leave in the garage. This could be your kind of grab and go box cutter style knife. Although for $60, you could yes, let's face it. We can go to Home Depot, spend probably what, 20, 25 bucks on one of those like legit box cutting knives with the razor blades that probably even less. At Home Depot, it's the Milwaukee button lock folding box cutter, and the other ones are like probably $6 or $10. I haven't bought one in a long time. I don't tend to lose my box cutter, so I have my trusty box cutter from 20, 30 years ago when I was in the field installing, still in my tool bag. So, but for us knife guys that want something cool and fancy, this could be an option, and it would fit that task. Although there are other utility knives now, Riyadh makes some and whatnot, that have that actual razor blade, replaceable blade fixture, like in the old school box cutters. So that's probably a better option. But nothing wrong with this guy at all. It cuts really well. And yeah, I hope it loosens up. The D10 the pivot is just really tight. But I think in time that'll wear in a little bit and be okay. So there you go. Let me know what you think. Check out my SOG playlist up here in the corner because, yeah, SOG been around a long time. They got a lot of knives, so check it out.